Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's Friday morning. I went ahead and just went to the gym. And when I actually turned on my car right now, I had a battery indicator, a red light indicator for the battery. Now this car isn't the Toyota that I talked about on a previous video last year. I actually have other vehicles that I use as well. This car right here, I'll give you guys the history on it later. This is a 2006 BMW 325. It is a salvage vehicle. I've had this car since 2018, so I've had it for 7 years. It's been a pretty good car overall, obviously, as you guys know. German vehicles, BMWs, Mercedes, require a lot of upkeep because these vehicles are very sensitive. They tend to have electrical issues here and there. But I have a very good mechanic that has worked on this vehicle for many years. And so far, it's been pretty reliable. But let me go ahead and show you guys exactly the issue that I'm having. Right now, it's 7:30 in the morning, and I'm going to take it to AutoZone to see whether or not I have something that's failing through the alternator or the battery. Let me go ahead and show you guys. It turns on right away. So this car does have 219,000 miles. I've driven it a lot. When I turn on the vehicle, it turns on right away. I don't hear anything inside the cabin. Now, earlier today, I was getting that issue, but let's go ahead and drive the vehicle and see if the light turns on. AutoZone is literally about 2 minutes away from where I live, so thank God for that. But shortly, we are going to find out what's going on. I really hope that it's just a battery. Here, I just got the notification. I don't know if you guys can see it there, but we got a battery. And hopefully it's nothing too bad. We're going to go ahead and get that voltage checked out in a bit and see what we can find out about that. Arriving here at the local AutoZone. Hopefully we'll be able to get this thing taken care of today. Okay, so I just left AutoZone right now. They did a test. So it looks like the battery has about 50% charge left on it. So thank God that it wasn't the battery, but unfortunately the alternator is bad. So I am going to take it to this place that I just found online. It's called Hilltop Automotive. The guy was very friendly on the phone. He said he could take care of this issue today if the part's available, which I think it will be because AutoZone had it in stock. And so they wanted to send me to a mechanic that they knew. Since I asked them if they had any references, I needed to get done today. I usually would use my own mechanic. But the thing is more than likely, he won't be able to have the issue replaced today, and I need this vehicle repaired today. So I am going to go over there, take care of business, and hopefully that alternator will be replaced today. I'll let you guys know how much I pay. I checked with AutoZone, and it looks like the alternator is somewhere between $250 to $300, and then you also have to include labor costs as well. So it's not going to be cheap. I usually always budget somewhere between $750 to $1,000 every time something goes wrong with the vehicle. Because this is a used vehicle. It is a 2006, so this is a very old vehicle. It's almost 20 years old. These cars are good when you take care of them. This car has been really reliable. And as long as you are on top of the maintenance, they last a long time. Like I said, I have 219,000 miles on this vehicle. This car, I purchased it back in 2018. It had a little bit over 100,000 miles on it. So I've put a lot of miles on this vehicle. It's been very good to me. Same thing with the Toyota. The Toyota itself has been very good to me. It has close to 250,000 miles right now. And I just like driving these vehicles. Like I said before on my channel, I always try to preach to be able to use a used vehicle instead of going and buying a new one with monthly payments. You know, as long as I keep my maintenance up to date. Once in a while, you do have these unforeseen issues where parts could eventually fail on you. At least right now, I can go ahead and take the vehicle down to the shop before the car seizes up. And I'll be able to get this replaced without having to get it towed anywhere. No monthly payments. Cheap car insurance on this vehicle, I think it's great. But at the end of the day, you do have to have the budget for things like this to come up when you have a used vehicle, because you just never know. I mean, these things could happen out of nowhere. Right now, like I said, it's 8 a.m. right now, and I have a pretty busy day. It is Friday. I have appointments. I actually have to go to my boxing class here within an hour. I have to be there, an hour and a half. So as soon as I drop off this vehicle, I'll go ahead and I'll take an Uber back home. And fortunately, I do have other vehicles that I can use and get to the boxing class and take care of business. And hopefully I'll be able to get this taken care of today. All right, so I dropped off my car right now at this place, Hilltop Automotive. I think you could see the sign right there, Hilltop Automotive. And so this is in Indio, California. Very nice. They're able to take my car in. They actually said that they could have my car possibly done by noon. Hopefully they can. I don't know. I mean, I've never had an alternator replacement done on the spot. But the guy, he was able to source a part that's going to be installed hopefully today. And it's going to be almost $700 for this repair. So just like I guessed earlier, it's always good to be able to have somewhere between $500 to $1,000 in mind whenever you have a vehicle, something could go wrong. And so I just wanted to make sure that I could get this done today, because that car, I do use it a lot. So just like the Toyota has its use, this car has its use, and it's always good to have an emergency vehicle. So right now, I am going to get an Uber back home. It's going to be about $15 for the Uber. Go back home, get ready, go to train boxing. And then afterwards, I do have some stuff going on in the afternoon for work. But it is a good day. I'm glad that I caught it early in the morning at 5 a.m. before I went to the gym. So I was able to get this done during the day. It's been a very productive day so far. It's a little bit under 9 a.m. and we got a long way to go today. So I'll keep you updated, let you know. Hopefully it's nothing too serious. Like I said, they did check it at AutoZone, said that the charging system was bad. But I'm still going to pay them $55 to be able to diagnose the issue, because the people at AutoZone, even though they have good intentions and they have their meters, it was someone that looked like he didn't have a lot of experience. He just plugged in the device to the battery and ran the test. So I want to make sure that at least these people give it a second look and make sure that there's nothing else wrong, because it could be that the battery is also faulty. We don't know. And these batteries for these BMWs, they're very expensive. They're about $300 or so at the minimum. I did end up having to leave this BMW at the shop for longer than expected. Unfortunately, the parts that they were going to get from AutoZone are not able to be installed on that vehicle. Those cars are very sensitive. So it had to be a particular part. So the car won't be actually officially repaired until next week. So I had to come and get my Toyota, and it just so happened that now the Toyota, I need to get a smog, because here in California they require it, especially since it is a 2011, it's an older vehicle. So they do require a smog here to be able to get the registration renewed. So that's what I'm going to go take care of right now. And also, I forgot to mention that BMW, the part is actually going to be a little bit more expensive because it is a higher quality part. So I am going to have to spend a little bit more money. Once I do have the final bill, I'll let you know how much I paid. These are things that you just have to deal with these cars. You know, you have these older vehicles, but you still have to have good maintenance on them. But I have 251,615 miles. If you want to talk about having a beater, 251,000 miles on a Toyota, I guess you can say that that's a beater right there. So take care of your cars and they will last for a long time. All right, today's Monday, October 27th, 2025. And it's been a couple days. I just got this car back from getting its alternator replaced. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of update of how much I spent and the reason why I've been kind of silent with making videos these last couple days. There's always a reason behind when someone disappears from something like YouTube. There's always a reason why it happens. And so I'll explain to you guys in a second what I have been dealing with, not only with this vehicle, but also the Toyota. I did get this alternator replaced at that place that I had mentioned earlier, Hilltop Automotive. Great people. Don't have anything bad to say about them. Excellent customer service. I got an automated text message today while I was with a client. I ended up showing up at the shop 10 minutes after close. I did call them ahead of time and I told them that I was running a little late, and they waited for me 10 minutes after close so I could pick up the vehicle. So let me go ahead and share with you how much I spent for an alternator replacement. And some of you may know that this actually happened to the Toyota earlier this year in January. I had a similar issue. The alternator went out on my Toyota as well. As of right now, it has over 250,000 miles. And this is the first time it ever occurred. Now that time I was stranded. This time, fortunately, I was able to have a little bit of a leeway and get the car to the shop so I could go ahead and get this repaired without getting stranded on the road. This is a 2006 BMW 325. It's been a very reliable vehicle. Originally, we were going to get an AutoZone alternator installed. These people, they ran an actual check to make sure that that part would be compatible with that vehicle. So even though AutoZone, they said that this part should be compatible, when they ran the test, they figured out that that was incorrect. They had to get an OEM part, and that's why it took longer. They had to source it from a different area. The actual amount that I was billed for labor was $333, and the part itself, they billed me $849.99, which I know there is some markup, not sure exactly how much. But like I said, it is an OEM part. Within that labor, it included $55.50 to be able to do a test on the battery. I allowed them to do that because I wanted to make sure that this was compatible with the alternator. So total, I ended up spending $1,257.36, but it doesn't stop there. Because this shop, if I pay with a credit card, they charge me an extra fee. So I didn't have cash. I ended up paying $1,295.08. So that was pretty much the out-of-pocket, what I had to spend to be able to get the car up and running. So far today, I've driven the vehicle about 20 minutes and it's been running great. I no longer have that error message. Car runs just like it did before. So I'm really grateful of that. Now, I do want to talk about the main reason why I have been silent these last couple days. It's nothing bad. I still have a lot of motivation to be able to get videos out to you guys. I had to make a really hard decision here after tax season has officially ended in October 15th. And I knew that this day was coming. I do have a personal assistant that I've had ever since 2020, right around the time when COVID took place. My business actually started booming during that period. So I needed to get an assistant. Before that, I was one man that did all the work. Not only did I do tax preparation, I had a couple payroll clients, and I had a couple clients that I was doing their books every single month. And it just started getting very overwhelming around that period, around 2020, especially with everything that was going on. There was a lot of uncertainty, but I did bring on an assistant. She's gotten raises every single year from 2020 all the way to 2025. I've given her modest raises. So I know that maybe a lot of people are going to say, well, what happened? You know, you cannot afford your assistant anymore. Well, it's not that. 2025 and 2024 were some of the best years that I've had in accounting. Some of the best years ever. I have a record amount of clients when it comes to my tax preparation business. And a lot of it is referrals. It's mostly referrals, circle of friends, people that they each know, pass on my information. I ended up getting more and more clients over the years. My accounting business, my bookkeeping business, that is actually separate. So I do not commingle the two, even though my assistant, she was helping me a little bit on my tax preparation business. Sometimes I did have things that needed to get done. The back end work, I would have her do some of that. But for the most part, this assistant that I had pretty much helped me with the bookkeeping business. So when it came to accounting, when it came to QuickBooks, sometimes she would help me draft letters. She would help me do things in the back end. But when it comes to client communication, tax preparation, that was all me. Checking emails, answering emails, I did all of that. So I knew that this day was getting closer. Several years ago, when ChatGPT was introduced to the world, we know that AI was getting better. At first, it was a novelty. I looked at it to be able to give me a little bit of a helping hand. But now, in 2025, AI has really gotten a lot better. Way better. Part of the reason why I let go of my assistant was AI. You can attribute this decision partly to that. But that's not the entire decision why I let go of this assistant. The main reason why I let go of this assistant was because of the economy and the client base that I have right now. These past couple years, I got a lot of new business. I had a lot of people reach out to me throughout the entire year, every single year, asking me to help them with their books, which I was okay with. I had a full-time assistant that had enough time to be able to bring in new clientele and have them serviced. And I was able to button everything up and deliver all the reports and results and everything necessary to be able to finalize their tax returns. Well, this past year, I would say probably around May or June, I noticed a dramatic shift in the amount of calls and people requesting those services. Plummeted. It totally plummeted. And we are looking into the summer here now, 2025, and you could tell right away the current clientele that I have, they're good people, hardworking people, and they've just stopped paying on time. Some of them are taking longer to pay. People are struggling. They're holding off on making these types of payments, and it's even gotten to the point where there's some clients that I've actually stopped doing business for because they've taken so long to pay. Not only that, but I have noticed that the clients that I do currently have that are current, they're mounting larger credit card balances on a monthly basis. They're not paying off those balances in full like the way they used to. They're garnering more interest and their bank balances are decreasing. And a lot of them are scrounging to figure out how they're going to make all their monthly expenses. I just had a client today call me that has owed me money for over a month that said that they finally were able to get some sort of loan approved. So in the next couple of days, I will get a payment from them. Not the entire payment, but a portion of it. So this is just an indication. I'm starting to see cracks in the economy. People are just having a lot of issues. I've actually, like I said, I've paused some clients where I was doing their monthly accounting, but if they're not paying, I cannot continue to work for free. It's getting to a point right now where why would I continue to work for free? Just doesn't make sense. So, and these are people that I've known for several years. I've been doing their accounting, but I just cannot continue doing that. If you're not getting paid as a business, you're not going to continue doing work for free. People have no indication of paying anytime soon, so I'm just going to put them on pause. So the clientele that I do have right now, some of the work that the assistant was taking care of, I'm actually doing it right now. I'm actually in communication right now with a couple people that I'm going to be outsourcing some of this work, but it's not going to be a personal assistant. It's going to be someone that I outsource work to, a third party that can help me with some of these tasks, and then I will just pay them a flat fee. So instead of having someone on an hourly basis, on a salary basis, it's just going to be someone where I just send them work and they're going to do it for a flat fee. But not only that, all of this work is getting automated by ChatGPT and other sources, QuickBooks automation. There's a lot of artificial intelligence right now that's actually able to help you out to be able to automate a lot of the tasks that this personal assistant would do. So it just doesn't make sense for me right now to be able to continue paying an assistant a weekly salary. It just doesn't make sense. So I'm trying to work smart. I mean, yes, I don't have that monthly payment anymore, that weekly salary payment. It is a little bit more work. So that's the reason why I've been kind of absent, because I've had to re-strategize this business these last couple of days. And I'm trying to figure out what portion of this assistance work can be automated and what portion of it can't, at least as of right now, that I'm going to be able to outsource to someone to be able to take care of it in the meantime while I re-strategize everything. So it's just been a total mess. And this whole alternator situation, I have another car that needs tires. And, you know, sometimes when it rains, it pours. You know, I had to make this decision. I really didn't want to do it. I had several weeks that I actually decided to postpone this decision because I was in the middle of trying to get all my taxes taken care of before October 15th. But now that October 15th left, I decided to just pull the trigger and lay off this person. I know it's in the midst of a lot of layoffs all over the United States, and this is just another example of what's going on. It's inevitable right now with everything that's going on. It just trickles down to individual people that can get laid off. Those are the consequences. I don't know what else to say. Maybe in the future I might hire someone, not sure. But as of right now, I'm actually good where I'm at. These last couple years, I've been able to handle my tax preparation business. Even though I do have a lot of clients, I am able to handle all the work myself. I haven't had to outsource work. As of today, that's where I stand. And let me know if you've had to lay off people, if you are a business owner, if you've gone through a similar situation this last month or two or three or this summer. I know it's becoming very common for this type of situation to happen right now, and hopefully this person will be able to find new employment soon. It's not that she was a bad worker, it's just that the money is just not coming in to be able to support paying this person. Now, I could pay this person through savings, or I could pay this person through tax preparation income, but it just doesn't make sense for me to pay a personal assistant that solely does accounting work through other sources of income. It just doesn't make sense. So I, as a business owner, had to make a large decision to let go of someone that was working for me for over 5 years. But that's just the way things are right now. And also, if you have been laid off, comment down below, let me know. I would like to know what are your opinions and thoughts on that. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. I'll continue to try to post more content here soon. I have a lot of good, interesting ideas and content that I want to share with you guys. I just need to find the right time here now that I'm currently going through all these things with my business. If you haven't had a chance, please subscribe and watch my videos. I have some pretty interesting content out there. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.